So I was walking the other day, just taking a nice leisure walk around the block, and I seen one of their storm straits. You know what I mean? Drains. One of them.
Yeah.
And it was open. So you know what I mean? I peeked. Just wanted to know what's in there. Maybe treasure. Maybe the Master Sword. I don't know.
Oh.
Okay. What was down there was a clown. Wasn't Tim Curry. Wasn't the new guy. Just a clown. He looked kind of sad. And I was like, hey, man. Hey. Do they float down there? You know, I'm trying to cheer the guy up. It's a sad clown. I feel real bad for him. I'm like, do they float? And he looks at me and he says, it's time for the enthusiasts.
Nice.
No, okay.
You should probably... You know what? I actually didn't hit record. I really wanted you to go through a quick run. I'm joking.
You're an awful human being.
It was all recorded.
Yes! Oh my god!
What is up, everybody? This is The Enthusiast. I'm one of your hosts, Justin Nazario. Beside me, or across the table now, because we got two mics, is man that was ready to stab somebody in the movie theater.
Oh, man.
William Zabo.
Yeah.
The man.
Yeah.
I'm never going to get your name right. I mean, I try to pronounce your name correctly, and I just can't.
It's years of conditioning,
It
saying
is.
it the wrong way.
You were really annoyed in that movie. I got annoyed towards the end. I guess you were sitting closer, so you were getting real pissed.
Yeah.
I could feel you tensing up next to me.
Yeah. I hate... And I don't know, lately, ever since me and my girlfriend have gone to been dating, and we went to the movies, every time we go, there's always someone talking it up, being obnoxious. So it's... I don't even know if it was just this person or the fact that it's constantly now been happening to me, because it used to never happen. But now it's been happening to me so much that now it's just building up, and it's like, man, can I just enjoy a movie once?
I think it didn't bother me until they started talking about things that weren't relevant to the film. When they were reacting to the jumps and the scares, okay, I can deal with that. But then when they just started having a conversation, and then the lights come on afterwards, and I realized they were like 12-year-old girls.
Yeah.
I'm like, first off, who bought you a ticket to see this rated R movie? Second off, why right behind us did you choose to sit?
Yeah, it was the worst.
With that being said, we both seen it, and what'd you think?
We did. I surprisingly, so I'm not a big horror guy. I've said it on here before. I really liked it. I feel like I'm going to be doing that a lot.
I agree.
But,
it was really good.
It was. I know we can talk briefly about it. We're going to do a spoiler cast after as well. But I really was shocked as to how much I enjoyed it. I heard a lot of good praise about the movie before we went to go see it, so I tried my best to lower my expectations because I didn't want to go in with them too high. But I have to say, what I was expecting, it actually did exceed.
That's exactly what I told my wife. We were getting into the car. I was like, I expected a lot because the reviews have been so amazing for it, and it actually went above and beyond my expectations. So good for it.
Yeah. So what else have you been doing this week? We just saw it.
Metroid came out Friday.
I actually ordered my copy. I ordered a physical copy, but I ordered it through Amazon because I didn't want to give GameStop my money.
I understand. Why is it not here yet?
No, I ordered it yesterday. It was an impulse buy. I really was looking at it, and I wasn't going to get it. Not because I don't love Metroid. I actually do love Metroid. Just because money's a little tight right now, and I was kind of maybe I should hold off on getting it. But I had to get my girlfriend a birthday gift, and then I saw Metroid, so I decided to get that as well.
Yeah, I was in the same situation, so GameStop, had a nice trade-in right now. If you traded in and bought any used game, you got an extra 60%, which gave me an extra $100 in trading in games. I got rid of a bunch of them, and stuff I wasn't playing, stuff that I just been holding on to for no reason. I ended up being able to pick up Metroid and my Amiibos, no cost to me, and then paid off 2 more games I had.
Oh, nice.
But Metroid, man, delicious.
Really?
It took me over 20 years to get this sequel, but it was worth the wait. It was really good.
I'm a little nervous to play it, only because Metroid, in my opinion, while Prime and all was great, Super Metroid is still the peak of that.
You know what? I agree with you on that. But that's exactly it. This feels like a continuation
Of Super.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I'm afraid to play it and be like, you know what, this is really good, because that's kind of how it always goes with me in Metroid. This is really good, but it's not Super Metroid. You know, and I get that it wasn't probably fair for me to compare Prime to that, because Prime was really different from the old side-scrollers. But, you know, I'm excited to play it. I picked up the Amiibos, because I saw them.
They are amazing. I love the fact that one's squishy, too.
Yeah,
it's
the Metroid.
super weird, yeah.
Yeah, I like that, too. I saw them. I'm a huge Metroid fan. It's probably one of my favorite Nintendo series. But so I really wanted to make sure that.
Yeah, I got the Amiibos because you need them. They can interact with the game. And then I went to use them yesterday and realized I have a 3DS XL, which doesn't have Amiibo support.
Oh no, you need a new 3DS
Yes.
XL, or you have to go buy that hockey puck.
Yeah, so I was really pissed about that. I'm not buying the hockey puck. But at the end of the day, I collect Amiibos anyway, so I'm like, yeah, it wasn't the biggest waste of money, but
yeah,
still annoying.
Oh, I can imagine.
But
they do look really good though, and I will say this: Nintendo. If you look at Nintendo's first batch of Amiibos compared to how they look now, man, they've really jumped up in quality.
Especially if you look at the Samuses, because it's technically the Samuses are in the same armor for both.
Yeah.
Just the level of detail in the armor of this one, amazing.
I agree. It's getting to the point now where I almost really always want them now. But I wanted them before, but sometimes I would get them and the very humanoid looking ones like the Marth, the God, who did I get for you?
Little Mac.
The Little Mac, their faces sometimes look really off and weird, but they got really good at that. Like the new Zelda ones look really good.
Yep.
So it's kind of getting hard to be like, maybe I'll pass on these.
Getting hard. Sorry. Yeah. I'm actually surprised in that time we are in now with Breath of the Wild being such a different Zelda game to go back to such a systematic Metroid that plays just like Super Metroid, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think they added a counter attack in the game. They literally said that was for newcomers, so you know what I mean, they wouldn't feel completely crazed. But even the counter system, that game, like every other Metroid, takes you out of your comfort zone. You'll be playing and you think you know how the game's going, and then all of a sudden they'll throw a curveball at you and be like, hey, figure this out, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or go down these 45 different hallways where you think you're going somewhere into a dead wall.
Yeah, I was telling my girlfriend about the new Metroid that came out. She got really excited until she heard it was for the 3DS, then she got a little upset. I kind of don't see why Nintendo isn't just porting these 3DS games to the Switch anyway.
I was literally thinking that in the shower yesterday, and yeah, I shower people take that. But I was thinking that game is so beautiful, especially in 3D. I don't have no idea why they didn't just port it over to the Switch.
You don't even really have to change anything.
Yeah, even if you just gave it, I guess I can understand when you're, because it is a $40 3DS game, and in that mentality, you're like, okay, that's understandable. But would you spend that same amount of money on a Switch game that looked like that?
But you know what? If you made it digital only, and maybe knocked down to 30, I'd be all about it.
You're all about it.
I don't even care if there was the black bars on the side because, the full game couldn't fit on the screen.
I agree.
I just want a reason to pick up my Switch because XCOM 2 came out. That was the video I used for the last one.
Yeah, I was there.
I streamed it. I made a lot of my friends. Unfortunately, some did not make it to the end. You're still around.
That's what I do. I never go away.
You were injured for 22 days, so you were out. But yeah, it was a bit upsetting for that. But it was funny because as soon as XCOM came out, I started playing XCOM, and then I just completely lost interest in Mario Rabbids, which kind of...
I lost interest in Mario Rabbids too, and it wasn't for anything of...
another game or anything.
Yeah, it was just I don't want to say the game's repetitive, but it's repetitive. That's the only best way to do it. It really does feel like, run, battle, like the same. And it's not even like certain games where they do have that systematic where you run battle. It's every battle almost feels exactly the same,
Yeah, and I also feel like the enemy types weren't very different enough. Mm-hmm. Once you get towards the later game, it doesn't feel like it's very there's much variety. And we talked about this before, but I still really don't feel like the characters were very diverse in their abilities and things like that.
Right.
But yeah. Other than that, yeah, I've just been playing XCOM. I'm excited for Marvel's Capcom next week. I was hoping you and me next Saturday when we meet up, we could do a live stream of a couple matches of Marvel vs. Capcom of us.
You're picking Marvel Capcom up?
Yeah.
It makes you think I'm picking it up.
You've told me before. Did you cancel it?
I'm kidding.
Okay.
I got it paid off. You're weird for following that. Besides that, I got a tattoo.
Okay.
It's a polka ball.
I know. But if you hold it a certain way, it kind of doesn't look like a Pokemon.
Nah, it looks like a throwing star kind of thing.
It also kind of reminds me of a wrestler's symbol.
Really? Ooh.
I don't know who. You know what? I'm going to do some research at some point and tell you.
Well, it's a Pokeball.
Yeah, I really like it. It does look really cool.
Because I love Pokemon.
You do. Probably too much.
Gotta catch 'em all, Pokemon.
But you never will.
Shut up.
They're always going to add more.
If the world ends, I'll catch 'em all eventually. No, they'll probably still be making Pokemon games.
They actually have Pokemon games in the pipeline that if anything were to happen to the world,
they can just
another
release.
game still comes out.
So what about you, man? Done anything fun, exciting?
No, not really. Worked a lot. Been playing a lot of Destiny. Was trying to get raid ready for that. Streamed a little bit of that. I finally got enough power level to raid, so I'm gonna stream the raid whenever I get around to actually getting a chance to raid. But other than that, that's about it. I'm gonna probably the new DLC for Dishonored came out this week, so that's probably what I'm gonna put. And
Dishonored, they came out like 1972.
Dishonored 2, sorry.
That came out like 1972. Wasn't that last year? Was it this year?
It was last year.
And they're releasing, what do you play as in this one?
And the
a
DLC
rat the entire time?
No, you play
poisonous
as,
rat?
Did you play the second one?
I did not.
Okay, then I can't say the character name because you won't know who it is.
Yeah.
There's a female though in the game that you get to play as, and you're taking out the Overlord, which is the guy with the black eyes, the one who gives you your powers in the first game. No. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't remember that. It was like
I'm
a
assuming
dream
you-
sequence.
Huh?
Like the dream sequence that
Yeah.
they have to break out of the prison.
I
I played the first one.
The first one was really good.
Yeah, I did like the first one.
The second one was really good too.
My issue with games like that is I don't like a game where like the different ways it punishes you for playing it a different way. You know what I mean? Like if I want to run and gun through that game, I get a crappy ending, and that annoys me. You know what
Oh,
I
I
mean?
get what you mean.
So-
I don't mind that. I get what you're saying though. It sucks when because stealth in games can be frustrating.
Yeah.
And sometimes you'll accidentally, be seen or kill someone that you're not supposed to, and you're like, you know what, just forget it. I'm just gonna go guns blazing, and then all of a sudden you're like, oh, this isn't working out as much as I was hoping. Someone's free.
Oh yeah. I
But
was secretly texting my wife while you were talking. Can you shut that dog up? And then she was like, "What do you want me to do with it?" And I was like, "Kill him. I don't care. Okay?
Oh.
He hasn't stopped barking since we started. Drive me insane."
decided to let him go so he can bark around the house.
Absolutely.
Just kidding. Anything with you? Anything else?
No, tattoo, Metroid. I'm gonna get a thing to play some Borderlands. That's about it, man.
All right.
You know what I mean? I got attacked by my best friend about some money I owed him.
Oh my
Stewie
god.
style. Jeez.
Oh my god.
So,
that is not.
You want to get started with though?
The news?
All right. First thing up on the news is my best friend texts me with this text message, and you can go ahead and leave a comment about this. I want to know. You know what I mean? I owed somebody a little bit of money, and I did forget, and I feel bad. But instead of just being like, "Hey, man, I don't know if you remember, you owe me some money," he hits me with "Pay now or else." ... I got kids, man. What does the or else mean?
That is not even what happened.
I read between the lines.
First off, I put a please in there.
The please was so you didn't have to kill me. Can you please do this? Because I want to let you live.
Look, I'm Italian and I'm Puerto Rican. Sometimes, you know how it is. Sometimes your blood gets boiling and the things that people stereotype you about just come out.
Come right
You
out.
know what I
You know
mean?
what I mean? I understand.
Like when you want fried chicken and watermelon.
That is racist. That is insane. Because I'm not even black. That's the weirdest thing.
No. You definitely probably have some African in you somewhere.
Absolutely, and I'm proud of it, man. You know what I mean? Why
I
do you
don't
think I
blame
can dance?
I can't.
You know what I mean? That's
Like-
why I get so dramatic when I get scared in the movies. You know what I mean? I grabbed you and my wife at the same time. Like, oh, Ooh,
try
you
to
know what I
protect
mean?
us.
I did.
All right, let's get started. So the Spider-Man spinoff, Venom, production has been delayed until October 23rd.
Delayed? Oh no.
Yeah. The movie's still set though to come out October 5th, 2018. Hopefully that doesn't change.
That's next year, man. That's really quickly. Haven't even got nothing yet from it. Huh?
Yeah, no trailer, nothing. Well, I mean, production hasn't started yet, so I guess I wouldn't expect a trailer.
What is this in? Is it in the Marvel universe? Is it not? I know it's a Sony movie, but I know they got a contract. Does what's his face Spider-Man just in this universe?
So this is where it's starting to get confusing because the woman that's a part of Sony Productions said that it is in the same universe as Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Right, British guy.
But Marvel keeps saying it is not a part of our universe.
The thing here's what makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like this. It's you're giving me a Venom movie
Without Spider-Man.
without Spider-Man, and you're gonna tell me this is his heroic movie. I don't. This is what annoys me about these executives. They're like, okay, Venom's a light character. Let's just make him a good guy or whatever. Venom's not a good guy, okay? No. And it's hard for me to get behind this film without you having him established already in another film. You know what I mean?
I can agree with that.
I don't know.
It even took him a long time to become an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He literally was a villain for a really long time.
Really long time.
Yeah. I was going to say a joke from It.
Go ahead, do it.
There were a lot of dick jokes. I was going to say, but good thing we're not in this round.
Yeah, my whole idea though is I can't seem like, once again, who's going to be the villain? What's about the only way this movie would have made sense to me is if it is in the Marvel universe. You skipped Eddie Brock, which obviously they're still not doing already.
Agent Venom.
And went with Agent Venom. You know what I mean? That
agree.
way you could have a little shield in it, maybe a cameo. That would have made the most sense to me.
I can agree.
You know what? Hey, who am I? You know what I mean?
Right.
Who am I?
You know what I think also would be cool? They're not going to do it. But you remember how Suicide Squad kind of showed the other side of Batman? Like you're seeing it from the other side of the fence?
Mm-hmm.
Would have been pretty funny, though, to see Venom's other side of Spider-Man.
Yeah, like Spider-Man being the jerk. Because Spider-Man is like a sarcastic a-hole. So like, you would have been like, this little jerk.
I think that would have been funny. I didn't put this in the notes, but since you did spring up stills, did you see the still image of the new Hellboy? What he's looking like?
No, I did not.
Yeah, so that came out. I will bring that up real quick. I actually don't know how I feel. I like it. It's hard to tell, though, if it actually is a new... It kind of almost looks like the old Hellboy.
Is it... Well, I'm sure you're going to show me in 2 seconds.
So, here it is, right here. I'm going to pass that over to you. Take a quick look as a gander.
That looks just like... You sure this isn't just the original?
That's what I'm saying. It looks just like the original.
It looks like Ron Perlman's Hellboy.
Yep. Apparently, that's the new one now.
All right.
So, I guess look-wise, we can be a little happy that...
I think it's tough, though, when the original was so close to the comic in accuracy. Like, of course, this new one's going to be right there next to it. You know what I mean? If they're going with that idea. It was like, as much as people enjoyed Dredd versus Judge Dredd, the original Sylvester Stallone one was very close outfit-wise. So when they did make Dredd, the costume looked exactly the same. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Different chin underneath the mask. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. I just didn't really know what to really say off of the still other than it looks just like
Yeah,
it.
I mean, we're going to probably put a link to it and, take a look for yourself. Tell me what you think. I don't like it, you know what I mean?
It just looks... It's weird. Looks like it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Just like I don't like unnecessary sequels of the same thing, you know what I mean? Especially when you get 2 chapters of a story and they're great. You know what I mean? Why risk it with a 3rd chapter?
Oh, I can agree with that.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like John Wick.
Oh, God. First 2 movies are amazing, though, aren't they?
Oh my God, they really
First
are.
movie is so good. Second movie, a lot to live up to, but not a bad film either. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it's the action in it and Keanu Reeves. I just want to hang out with him. You know what I
Keanu
mean?
Reeves is a really good actor.
No, he is not.
I think he is.
He's a fun actor. There's a bit of a difference.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, he works, but if you've seen him in Bram Stoker's Dracula, wasn't that great?
I do think he's very he's for specific roles. I don't think he's an actor that can play anything, but I think if you can get him in the right role, like him as Neo, I really enjoyed him as Neo.
He was perfect.
If you pick,
Sorry, Will Smith. He was meant for that role.
if you get the right people, I think you're good.
Yeah, I agree. It's not. I've joked around earlier about an unnecessary sequel, but I'm excited for this film because John Wick 2 did end on a huge cliffhanger. I am a little annoyed that films feel the necessary need to always set up for a sequel. But with that being said, if the director's idea that was to do a continuation, you know what I mean, that a story needed to be said, hey, it happens.
I'm okay with it as long as they have an end in mind.
Yes.
I don't
go somewhere.
I don't want you to just keep making sequel after sequel, and then you're kind of like, you know what? I don't really know where I was taking this.
Yeah. Like, that's what happened to Taken, I feel like. Taken had a nice beginning and movie did well, so automatically they had to do a sequel, you know what I mean?
I didn't even see Taken 2. I like to consider it just not that Taken 1.
Yeah, I seen Taken 2. It was Taken 3 where I was like, this is ridiculous, you know what I mean? Get this man a beeper and, you know, a GPS, because people just keep falling in and out of his life, you know? And that's nothing against the character, you know what I mean? Or Hollywood. I understand the way the Hollywood machine works. Movie makes money, pump out a sequel. Sequel makes money, pump out another one.
Until it doesn't.
Until it doesn't. I understand that.
Look at Transformers.
That's why we have 5 Transformer movies, you know what I mean?
And
But
we're getting another Saw.
But with that being said, sometimes you got to remember the Hollywood art about it and tell a story. That's the important part, you know what I mean? Look at the sequel treatment sometimes really hurts a franchise, you know what I mean? Jason, if you look at the first 3 Friday the 13th, those are really well done, terrifying movies. But the fact that 11 films exist, not counting Freddy vs. Jason, it's a joke. Nobody takes them serious, so you got to be careful with that thin line of storytelling and money-making franchises. You know?
I definitely agree with that. But you know what? Us also as fans, I don't think we help. Because I know a lot of people that I've seen a movie, and after I see the movie, I'm like, you know what? That was really good. There doesn't even... Inception is a very good example of this. When Inception came out, I was like, wow, that was really good. I'm happy with it. But I knew a lot of people who were like, God, they need to make another one. I was like, no, they don't.
Yeah, but you know what? As also, like you said, as fans, we also need to, like you said, show the fact that we don't support things in other ways, like not going. Something very proud that me and you repeatedly talk smack on that Transformers franchise and continuously seen them films. And when 5 came out, I was like, nope, I'm not doing it. Yep. You know what? You know, I don't care if I seen all the rest of them in theaters, and I did. I seen 1 through 4 in theaters. I was like, I'm not giving Michael Bay any more of my money. Yeah. Stop it. You know what I mean? And I have not seen it, you know, so I feel like it said it goes both ways. But hopefully John Wick 3 is great, because 2, you had a lot to live up with in 2. And although I don't feel like it was as great as the first one, it did have its really amazing parts. And that fight between him and Common on the train, I would have paid $15 to see that fight by itself, because that was amazing. It was so close, like, you never felt comfortable in that entire fight. It was so close range. You had no idea. Like, any slip up from either of them, they would have took an eye out, an ear, you know, like, it went over. It's done. It would have brought us to slimming waist.
I see.
See what I did there?
Slim fast. You're trying to tell me to lose weight.
Nope. I'm trying to call you to duty, buddy. You know what I'm saying? Why did the hero flush a toilet?
I don't know why.
Because it was his duty. Woo!
Anyway, Sony is releasing a Call of Duty World War II PS4 Slim, and man, is this thing hideous. Did you look at it?
No, I was too busy noticing that Call of Duty is getting a PS4 Pro version of the game.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you didn't see that. So there's going to be the PS4 version and the PS4 Pro version of the game.
Huh. I think they're the same disc. I just think I just think that the game is going to benefit from the PS4 Pro.
Weird.
So just like they did with The Last of Us recently.
You're a Last of Us.
They just added a patch for PS4 Pro users so that you can get the 4K resolutions and
that
stuff
game's
like that.
so great, though.
Oh, yeah.
I did not see this Slim. I always know they always do a link up of Call of Duty and the system. Because as much as I hate to admit it, Call of Duty is a system seller.
It is.
You know what I mean? So a lot of people will hold off getting a system until the new Call of Duty
Usually
comes
they
out.
don't look too bad, though. I will say usually Sony has been pretty good with their special edition consoles. I think the Destiny ones look pretty slick. The Call of Duty Black Ops 3 one looked kind of cool. This one looks like shit.
Really?
It is green and camo.
Well, World War II. Yeah.
Literally just green and camo.
Oh,
Nothing else.
that's pretty dumb.
It is hideous.
Sounds pretty dumb.
It looks like someone took
So
a
this is the
giant
PS4
steamer.
Slim, not a PS4 Pro?
No, not a Pro, just a Slim.
Weird that they would go with that choice, especially if the game is benefiting from a Pro.
I have a theory that I think they're going to obviously cut the price of the Slim even more, making that this one can probably stay at the same price until it'll be a special edition.
Okay.
So Slim gets another price cut. This one can still be there because, you know, it's special edition look. You don't know.
So, well, there's also the rumors the Pro's getting a price drop come the Xbox One X. So I feel like Sony's going to be rearranging prices very soon. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, because you want to get technical, they are selling a system for $100 cheaper than their competition, but the Xbox One X is supposedly going to be the only one with true 4K.
Yeah.
So I see a $50 price drop coming really soon with that.
Yeah. Call
Are
of
you
Duty.
excited about this Call of Duty? Are you excited they're going to World War II?
I am. My favorite Call of Duty is Call of Duty 2,
Mm.
which was the one where they went to World War II. My problem with this was, though, I went to play it, and Call of Duty is just getting to that point where if you don't constantly play it, you're just not good for the multiplayer.
Right.
And I mean, don't get me wrong, you could obviously just play the story. I know that's what you like to do. You like
Yes,
to
I'm
buy Call
weird.
of Duties.
I don't like playing online with people. I hate people.
You play the story, and then you're good. You're done with it.
Mm-hmm.
But for me, it's usually more about the multiplayer.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't like playing with kids. You know what I mean? Or adults. Or anybody. Ever tell you the horror story about when I was playing Borderlands? Because I do like playing Borderlands with people. And I keep my mic plugged in.
Okay.
But when people talk to me, I ignore them. I just don't say a word.
Okay.
It gets weird.
That's
You know what I mean? And if I need to talk to somebody, I will message them on PlayStation Messenger.
Wow.
You know what I mean? Worst story ever. This guy tried to convince me to do a mission with him because he was talking too much. Exited out of the game and restarted it offline. You know what I mean? So I'm a terrible human being. I don't like doing the online. You know what I mean? Makes me uncomfortable.
I can understand that.
So hey, you know what I mean?
You know, obviously you don't think the internet's that bad because you like DLC.
I
You
do.
buy your DLCs.
Well, sometimes. You know what I mean?
Oh, you're getting the Marvel vs. Capcom DLC.
I am only because it comes with characters immediately.
Yes, you do get two.
Yes.
Right off the bat.
I do feel though it is a slap in the face because I feel like they're already in the game. We just decided, hey,
They are in the story mode.
you know what I mean? Let's just keep them out. So you have to, buy the,
I kind of find it as a little slap in the face that we get 2 of the 6 DLC characters on day 1. So that means I only get 4 left.
And that's what I'm saying. And what else is annoying me, and I realize this is, I looked as I paid it off the other day. It is $90 for the collector's edition.
Mm-hmm.
You know how much more that is than the regular?
30.
That's a lot of money. Buddy.
Yeah.
Okay. It's $30 extra.
Yeah. Apparently, each character is gonna be $10 separately.
All right. Well, that means, and they're giving us some skins, but that's all you're really getting is characters and skins.
Yep.
And here's my fish. I just traded Injustice in because as much as I enjoy that game, once I finished the story mode in it, I was done.
Okay.
You know what I mean? And the only reason I'm comfortable getting Marvel Capcom is I know you're going to get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe I'll play this for a longer time. I'm really afraid 6-7 months down the road, I'm be turning this $90 investment into GameStop while they give me $30 for it.
Maybe
$20. $13.
Yeah.
Especially with, and this is what annoys me, and this is not anything fault against GameStop, they never take an account of special editions irregularly. You know what I mean? I'm getting the same price as somebody that got a $60 version of Marvel Capcom.
You literally could give them everything that came in the collector's edition. All of it goes in the trash, basically, but the game in the case.
Yeah.
Which really means it goes over to someone's house.
Yeah, so when I worked there, I stole so many batarangs from the collection edition of Batman. They were scattered around my apartment at the time. It looked ridiculous.
Broke them all off
Yes.
so that you can
I
actually
did
use
break
them.
them all off, yeah. I would go outside my old roommate and throw them at the tree.
That's funny.
They didn't work well. They were plastic. But going back to this, we're looking at some of the DLC characters that quote-unquote leaked.
Yes.
From
So apparently the full DLC characters may have leaked. Someone data mined the game and they saw coding for certain characters. Now we don't know if this could be, false. It's a rumor.
Take it with a pinch of salt.
Yeah.
Let's start off with the two that we know are for sure they're coming day one.
Sigma and Black Panther.
Sigma and Black Panther. Now, Sigma is from my favorite Mega Man X game, and that's Mega Man X4, which some people say is the greatest Mega Man X game. I would agree. So did my tattoo artist today. Me and him had a long conversation about how great Mega Man X4 was.
Okay.
So he's an amazing villain. I do like him. If you're going to put anybody from the Maverick series in there, I think he's a great character.
I can agree.
I hope to see alternate skin where he has the black robe on. That would be really cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they might as well add Axel too.
We're pounding across the table. And then we have Black Panther. Now, Black Panther, I hope he has an alternate skin because the suit I see him with in the trailer, I hate.
Yeah, I kind of want them to go more with his MCU skin.
I've always hated caped Black Panther. I think it looks so dark-skinned black man. Batman, that's what it looks like to me. So I do hope, you know what, and I feel like at the end of the day, you're trying to match the MCU anyway by taking all the X-Men characters in and showing down. So all the alternate skins, in my opinion, might as well be the MCU, universe.
Well, some of them look like they're movie characters.
Captain America looks very similar.
Hawkeye
looks very similar. Even Iron Man's armor is altered color like Robert Downey Jr.'s. But do you remember a game that came out for original PlayStation? It was an X-Men fighting game.
Yeah.
Either way, all the alternate costumes for that, because it came out the same time as the movie, were the movie skins. And that's what I would love to see, you know what I mean? That way you can have comic and your movie.
I agree with that. That would be pretty cool.
So,
let's get into these leaked characters, though.
So, we're going to go one by one?
Yeah. So the first one that leaked was Monster Hunter. We believe it's...
That's a Capcom character.
Yes. We believe it's a female. I'm okay with this, only because it is a new character.
That would be different.
Yeah, and I do think, obviously, with Monster Hunter World coming out, they really want to bring some more focus to the game.
And get people talking about it, where it's from. I could also see a lot of cool max up with, like, the combos and stuff.
Yeah.
With it, you know what I mean? All the different weapons you can get Monster Hunter this character has access to. So, there's a lot of range you could do with that character.
And I think it's definitely something that, like, once people play the character, if you've never played a Monster Hunter game, but you really like that character, it might bring you to want to go try the game. You know what I mean?
It makes me want to try it right now. You know what I'm saying? It's really exciting. Then we got Gil.
Now, this one, I'm not familiar with Street Fighter very much. I know that this is, I think it's a Street Fighter 2 final boss. I'm not sure. I don't know who Gil is personally.
Gil is from Street Fighter 4. Which was the last one that came out?
5
came out, so 4 was the last villain. And he's supposed to be a combination of all characters.
No, I thought that was Seth.
That was Seth. Who is Gil?
Yeah, Gil threw me off too. I'm not a big Street Fighter guy.
Nobody likes Gil now.
I was really banking on you to know who Gil is.
I'm trying. It sounded familiar. Is that from Street Fighter 3? The Green Master? Is that Gil?
I
think that might be it, actually.
Let's see. Gil is... He's half blue and half red.
Oh, I know.
Has a lot of blonde hair.
Yeah, I don't like that character. It's stupid. Oh.
He looks really dumb. He kind of looks like he thinks he's a god.
You're a god.
But, yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. I didn't really know
I don't like Street Fighter characters in Marvel Capcom. And, no, I know it's crazy.
No, I actually agree with you.
But, like, to me, it's what's the point if you have a Capcom game to give me fighting characters in this? I know what they fight like. I played a fighting game with them before.
Yeah.
I understand Ryu and Chun-Li. I get that. That makes sense. Put them in the game. Besides that, I should see no other fighting game character, especially from Street Fighter, the biggest fighting game, you know?
I do think that that's something that bothered me, too. It just kind of irked me that we're getting 3 Street Fighter characters, basically. One of them is DLC, 2 already in the game. 3 Mega Man X characters. It's like you have so many other franchises that you could have picked from. What are you doing?
It's so many. It's confusing on it. Then we go to this one I'm really excited for, Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier I thought was pretty cool.
If that's the case, I feel like there's so much you could do with Winter Soldier. So many looks you could go with, too. That'd be really exciting.
Now, I wouldn't mind seeing his Captain America costume in the game
That'd
too.
be really interesting, yeah. Or even doing like, so we know it's him, the Captain America full getup with the mask off kind of thing, and just a robotic arm out. That'd be interesting.
That would be really cool.
I would like to see that. With him as another Marvel character, Venom.
Yes, and he's the last one apparently. That's all. That'd be all 6 DLC characters.
I'm so tired of Venom.
I'm sure that this is also to promote the movie.
It's so many people were on Venom's junk. You know what I mean?
I've always been a Carnage fan when it came to the symbiotes.
I've never been a Spider-Man fan.
Yeah,
I feel he's a little bit overrated.
We've
I
talked
understand
about this.
you need to put him in this game, but I would love to see some more Marvel characters that I've never gotten to see in a Marvel Capcom game yet. Would have been really, really nice. You know what I mean?
Onimusha!
Onimusha would have been
God.
great. With the Capcom characters, I could go on and on with the Capcom characters. I have a book upstairs
Of just Capcom.
of just Capcom characters that could have been in this game. You know what I mean?
And you know what really grinds my gears about Capcom? They don't give Billy from Resident Evil 0 any respect. He's not even in the book!
I agree with you. Yeah, that is true. I also get mad that they keep putting the same Resident Evil characters in the Marvel Capcom. Like you said, Leon could have been a copy cut out just of Chris, and we would have just had a new character.
Because, the
there.
weapons are all the same in all the Resident Evils. It's not like, oh, Chris only had these weapons.
And I understand that, Capcom is on Chris Redfield. They love him. That's their, face of their Resident Evil series in their mind. But, the fans love Leon, man. Everybody loves Leon.
I really think a lot of this personally had to probably do with they just wanted to get another game out. You know what I mean? And so to save on resources.
With this being said, though, the only reason I'm getting this is they promised this was the only version of the game they're releasing. We're not getting no ultimate cut version 4 or 5, right? So
I'm hoping that they do release more characters, though.
okay,
I'm hoping that they come out after these 6. I hope I
with
don't
a
get
second DLC that I have to pay for.
I wouldn't even mind that as long as they don't instantly just come out with another Marvel vs. Capcom. I'd much rather you keep giving me DLC characters than a whole nother game. Look at Street Fighter. Street Fighter 4, there were, 5 iterations of it? You could just buy, if you still had the original Street Fighter 4, you could just buy the DLC upgrade for each one. But I'd much rather that be the option than pay another $60
For a whole nother game.
Yeah, or $90 if you want the game in another season pass.
Yep. Quick question, and I just wanted to go over this real quick because I've been going really back and forth with this game. How do you feel about them switching back to 2 characters? Now, it was an original thing for the original series.
Yes.
That you got it on PlayStation. If you got it on PlayStation, they hated you. You had 1 character.
Yeah. It was originally 2. PlayStation had it with 1. Marvel's Capcom 2 brought it up to 3. 3 kept it at 3.
Which was, then it kind of came a stable of the franchise, the 3 characters. So I'm really feeling weird that they're going back to 2.
The weird thing about going back to 2 to me is now I have to rethink my teams.
Yes. Not only do you have to rethink your teams, though, I feel like the nice thing about 3, especially for Marvel Capcom 3, was there's so many characters that I wanted to try out. Having 3 at a time was so easy to be like, I could try out 3 new characters I'd never tried out before, which gave me my new team in the game. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Of Dr. Doom, Wesker, and I can't remember what my last person I always played with. You know what I mean? But that's who I went with, and it was characters I tried out for the first time.
I always went with Zero, Nova, and Virgil. That was my team.
I like that.
Thanks.
That's fantastic. Ooh, thank you. Deadpool. Deadpool was the last one on my team.
Oh, right. I'm surprised they didn't put him in this again.
I guess
it's
I'm not.
the
It's
X-Men
Fox,
thing.
man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm, like I said, there's so many. If Marvel didn't have this whole, if we don't own the rights to the movies, we're not putting it in. You could have done Fantastic Four characters. Like, this is the first time we're not getting Doctor Doom in a Marvel Capcom game, which is insane. You know what I mean? Granted, people used him way too much online, but it's just so weird that, I think it's ridiculous that they're like, I'm done. Not doing it.
Apparently, Marvel's in talks with Fox to possibly get X-Men back. But that's a whole nother thing. Let's not even get into that. Let's move on to Shadow of War and things that are way too epic.
You're a Shadow of War.
I try.
So this game's got a lot of hype behind it because the out of nowhere pleasure the first one was.
I agree.
You know what I mean? Gave you the 1-2 hit real quick and then loved you.
This game's looking really good too, though. I'm really excited to play it.
Day one pickup for you?
Oh, absolutely. It's
All
already
right.
pre-ordered and
That's
paid for digitally. Everything's paid for digitally for me.
I calm it down, buddy. Calm it
Anyway,
down.
but the director of the game recently said that the final boss is too epic. Now, my only problem with him saying that was I feel like he almost just shot himself in the foot.
Yeah, that's going to be a letdown to everybody.
You set the bar so high now, which in the first game, people were a little disappointed with the final boss battle. I can understand that. I was okay with it because I kind of realized a lot of games have that problem where they're just not very good at finishing. But, you know, sometimes it's not always about the destination.
It's the journey.
It's the journey.
You know what I mean?
You know what I mean?
And look at Lord of the Rings itself as a film. All, 6-9 hours to him just dropping the ring into a volcano. You know what I mean? It was the walking that we were getting through, you know?
But,
could have took the damn bird the entire time.
So do you think he shouldn't have said this?
Absolutely. I feel like anytime you say anything like that, it's, you know what I mean? I hate to get a little graphic, but I'm going to. If you are with a girl on a first date and you're like, I'm going to give you the best night of your life if you let me sleep with you, there's no way you're giving it to her. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, she expected a lot. She expected a lot. And your little four thrust ain't doing nothing for her. You know what I'm saying?
You go to 4?
Yeah. You know what I mean?
That's
Not nowadays. I'm talking about way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? But that goes with anything. You know what I mean? Somebody turns to you and says, hey, this is going to be the greatest cookie you're going to ever eat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have these expectations. And it goes to what I said before about, like, prequels or, you know what I mean, or origin stories. The story you have in your head or the character you came up in your head is usually 10 times better than what actually ends up on paper. So
I agree. I just think I would have much rather him not say anything. He didn't need to say this comment.
No. Or he could have said something as simple as we did a better job than the first time.
Yeah. Because my expectations then would have been really low already.
Yeah. Like, ooh. And at the end of the day, I feel like you don't need this kind of hype because your game speaks for itself. The first one was so good, everybody. I know a bunch of people. Scott, that we had on this podcast before, he literally just tried the game after we talked about it on one podcast, and he's already, like you, has Shadow War paid off, and he's ready to go. Day one pickup for him, just because that first game sold him that much.
It was such a good game.
Yeah.
But, speaking of epic games, let's talk about CD Projekt Red's next title, which is Cyberpunk 2077. Let me ask you something. How big did you think The Witcher was? Do you think that was a bit big?
That was a big game. It was a large game.
Now, well, they're saying CD Projekt Red, Cyberpunk 2077, is going to be 4 times bigger than The Witcher 3 and all of its DLC.
I'm going to take you back to another story then. We'll go on a journey together, and you tell me what you think. I used to play a game called Elder Scrolls Oblivion.
Okay.
Did you like it?
I did like it.
A lot of people did. 2 Worlds got announced, and they said bigger than Oblivion, like Oblivion on steroids. How was 2 Worlds?
Shit.
Thank you. That is all. Story done. Now, I'm not saying that history will repeat itself, but don't you dare compare yourself to another game until you're out.
Well, this is by the same developers.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I'm kind of like, wow, that's crazy. But I do agree. I do think it's quality instead of quantity. I mean, CD Projekt Red, in my opinion, has done a really good job of proving that they usually can deliver.
I agree with you, but here's the thing. One of the best things about Witcher, we have this conversation all the time. If you compare Witcher's world to Breath of the Wild, just using an example, you always felt like you had something you could do in The Witcher. Everything felt alive, from one blade of grass to farmlands to people. It looked like people were living their lives in that game. It felt alive. Where you look at a game like Breath of the Wild, and although it was beautiful and great, that game was empty. It was, I mean, I understand the purpose they were going for, but size doesn't always matter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Sorry, because you would know about that. That's what I'm saying. It's got a little...
So are you trying to say that I'm The Witcher 3 and you're Breath of the Wild?
Is that what you're doing now? Is that it?
I'm just saying.
I mean, if you mean by sales, more people are interested in me. That's right. Okay.
We'll have to, you know what? Maybe I'll look up the sales for The Witcher 3 and let's do a quick comparison later.
Why we're on the news with Nintendo?
Yeah, so from this point on, it's all going to be Nintendo.
Oh no!
So,
First news ever.
an indie developer apparently says that Nintendo is working on an achievement system.
Okay.
No word on what it's going to be or anything like that. I'm still fingers crossed for a sticker book. I think that'd be pretty cool.
It's a little late, but hey, Nintendo jumping on the bandwagon. Time to do it, I guess.
I do. I mean, they do, obviously. I think they need it, because I think that's a common complaint from a lot of people.
I think it's crazy. You and Scott, like I mentioned before, talk about your fantasy achievements that do nothing, but give you a little bit of a pat on the back about how much you love them and you need them in games.
And increases my digital genitalia.
Yes. And I never understood that until I recently started playing Borderlands again. And I'm trying to 100% Borderlands pre-sequel. And why doing that? Borderlands, but yeah.
No, go ahead.
You
I'm
gotta
smiling.
smoke it.
Yes.
Borderlands does something in its own game where it keeps count of certain things you killed, style-ass kills. And sometimes I'll just kill something and it's like, hey, king of the blah blah blahs because you did this. It did make me feel a little good inside. I'm not gonna lie. You know what I mean? Am I as obsessed as you two? No. It's pathetic. Right?
I used to be way more obsessed when I had more time. I still care about them, but it's just not something now I go out of my way to try to get them all.
Like Pokemon?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, like Pokemon. I do think this is pretty cool, though. It's funny.
Sticker book would be awesome, though. I'd love that.
I think the sticker book would be great, because then you could send your friends the stickers that you've unlocked by getting the sticker for...
And hopefully you could rearrange them in inappropriate ways, too. That'd be really fun, you know what I mean? I just think, and we'll get later into the news about it, I feel like this is just more news to confirm that maybe Nintendo is putting their big boy pants on with the Switch.
I hope so. Sometimes a part of me sometimes also thinks it might be a little too late, and I'll also get into that when we get further into the news. But I better late than never, I guess. But we'll see where this goes. I do think, obviously, Nintendo fans are going to love it. Achievements and trophies are always good to have. They add replay value, regardless of if you like them or not. They're there, and that's what I think is nice. If you don't like it, guess what? It's something that's there that you don't have to care about. Turn off the notifications. It doesn't have to bother you. If you like them,
it's not like every time you get one, it'd be like, hey!
Yeah.
Maybe it will.
Do you watch Rick and Morty?
No.
There's an episode where there's a screaming sun coming up, and the whole time while the sun is up, it screams. I want trophies and stuff to be like that.
Ding.
They slowly come up the screen.
That would be terrible.
That'd be great. But what do you think of this? Do you think this is something Nintendo needs?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, Nintendo needs to step in that direction of, serious gaming. You got the family on lock. And it's like funny to me that Nintendo keeps trying to advertise to the family. Like, hey, we're family friends. You got that. You won. You won that round, okay? Calm down. What you need to do now
But PlayStation has knack.
Yeah, start... How they got a sequel? I don't... What you need to do is start worrying about some of your hardcore gamers, you know what I mean? Somebody that is in his 30s that just got a Pokemon tattoo, you know what I mean? That is obsessed with Nintendo.
I don't think they have to worry about you.
Okay, it is
You're
true.
buying everything. Regardless.
I got them tattooed on my flesh, man.
Yeah, that's pretty
And
bad.
it's not like I got one Nintendo tattoo. I got multiple Nintendo tattoos.
Mm-hmm.
I'm planning on getting a few more. Oh, God.
All right. You know what? Let's get into the maturity of Nintendo, though, with this Nintendo Direct that we just saw.
You didn't see. You slept through. You okay?
I rewatched it, but...
Your baby dad over here had to call you up and let you know you missed it. I watched that at work.
Yeah.
Hope my boss isn't listening, because I watched the entire thing live at work.
Yeah, a lot of stuff came out of it.
A lot, and it felt very, and I did appreciate they did this time. They split it in half. DS was first.
Yeah.
They got that out of the way. You could have skipped it if you needed to, and then bam, switch it
Do you
on.
want to start with the DS stuff, or you want to...
I would absolutely love to start with the DS stuff,
All right,
because there was a lot of cool stuff that came out
Let's
of
get the DS stuff out of the way. Let's first start with the Pokemon 2DS XL that they showed off.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I love the way it looks. I'm really upset it's not a 3DS.
Yeah, it looks just like a Pokeball.
Yeah.
I'm a little... I don't understand really what they're doing. I'm shocked that they're still going to be releasing DS consoles when they have a Switch that they're trying to sell.
See, I can agree with that, but once again, I feel like me and you are on two different pages with the Switch. And even I was over a friend of Steve's house today. He plays his Switch constantly undocked too, and I never do. I bring my I bring my DS everywhere with me.
Yeah, my DS is in my bag.
Yeah, and it's like, you know what I mean? And I don't know if it's because I'm just not used to having a console I can bring out with me, or the DS is just more comfortable to play on the go. But like, when it comes to convenience, why would I play a Switch when I could play my DS?
The Switch, although it is a portable console, isn't very portable.
It's so long, so uncomfortable. Especially when you're trying to play it in handheld mode, your arms will hurt.
Well, what also sucks is the way that the analog stick is down here on the right Joy-Con. It's kind of like throws the balance of the system off in your hands.
And I know a couple times I did bring my Switch out. Like anytime we had a down day at work and I brought my Switch, I would bring it and I would never use the controllers on the side. I would bring a controller, set it up in tabletop mode, and play it like that.
Yeah.
Just because it's so uncomfortable. So I feel like Nintendo's also not stupid. They know their bread and butter has been that 3DS. You know what I mean? No matter what, the Wii U didn't sell, 3DS was there to, pick up the slack. I got you. And 3DSs are constantly selling. Like, it is amazing to me that I have a 3DS XL that I have myself. I want to upgrade to a new 3DS, and that's ridiculous because why would I need it? But I want to upgrade.
But isn't this part of the problem that they have so many different SKUs too? You have your 3DS, your new 3DS, your 3DS XL, new 3DS XL, your 2DS,
yes.
Now your 2DS XL.
I feel like if you're not a fan of Nintendo, you can easily get confused by it. I agree. Like, a lot of people don't understand. I have a new 3DS, or just a 3DS XL.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that has a 2DS technically has the more advanced system than me. Has an Evo Sport built in, all that already. And it would be confusing to anybody else to be like the 2DS has surpassed the 3DS in some way, but...
Yeah. Like, yeah. I technically have a new 3DS. Not an XL, just a new 3DS. This also has Amiibo support. And it's just it's just a smaller one.
Yep.
So I can see how it gets confusing. It also gets confusing that they named it new in front of it. Because then people will be like, oh, what do you have? Oh, I just got a 3DS. Oh, do you have the new one? Yeah, it's brand new. That's
Nintendo likes to confuse people.
It's not what I'm doing.
The new Super Mario Brothers.
Yeah.
Besides that, we also got news on some more looks at Pokemon Ultra Sun and Moon. Now, how do you feel about that?
I always hate these games that kind of feel like the half steps.
Back in the day, what we used to get was you would get two main Pokemon, and then you get a combination of both with extras. We had Red and Blue, and then you got Yellow. And then we had Gold and Silver, and then you got Crystal. And then I'd say when Black and White came out, there was going to be a Gray that came out. But they put so much time and money into Gray that they were like, holy crap, we can make another game. And they gave us
Black and White 2.
Black and White 2, which was technically a sequel to it.
I think they also realized rather than make one game, they can make two and get even more.
Here's my issue with it. And I have no problem with them saying, hey, this is Sun and Moon 2 technically, because this is a new story. He plays a new character, new areas in the map, and they did throw in a few Pokemon in it. My issue is you're giving me the same 3 starters.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So when I go to play this game, I'm going to want to pick something else but, Incineroar. Even though I know that's the best Pokemon to pick, in my opinion, because that's the one I did already. So it's going to make me uncomfortable that I got the same 3 starters all of a sudden again.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I really wish, I feel like when you re-release these quote-unquote sequels to these games, you'd give me a 4th option of a starter. You know what I mean? Kind of like Pokemon Yellow did.
Yeah.
They gave you Pikachu, even though Pikachu is not a starter. He's not a starter. You hear me, Pokemon Company? He's not a starter.
I don't think I'm personally just not really paying attention to Pokemon until they announce the Switch one, and we'll see what I think about that. But this doesn't really do anything for me.
Like I said, I think it's a play eventually, but I think it's going to be a play after I've been away from Pokemon for a little bit. You know what I mean?
I can understand that. Kind of a go back.
With that being said, what I think is really cool though is if you get gold or silver, you get a Pokemon in either Sun and Moon or Ultra Sun and Moon. You get an additional Pokemon for downloading that game, and I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
So, thanks, Nintendo. We
We
got
also
new Professor Layton coming out,
new Professor
where he
Layton.
plays his daughter.
Yes. I
They-
haven't played a Professor Layton game in a long time.
They're
so.
fun games.
They are.
They get a little repetitive. I think this is interesting, changing up. What do you think of them switching the character?
It's not a horrible thing.
Think it's a, woman world kind of thing going on.
I do think it's and a lot of the games seem to be doing this, focusing on the girl. I much rather would have them just make a new series instead of calling it Professor Layton, because I think some
Is she a professor? Did she even finish school?
I don't know.
Rude.
I don't know how she did all that schooling in such a short period of time.
I agree with all that curly hair too. With talking about remakes, we're getting a remake of the Super Mario. What was it? Star Saga.
Oh, the Mario Luigi.
Mario Luigi Star Saga.
Yes.
This I'm excited for. I think these RPG Mario games are incredible. I am a little disappointed with the look of the game.
I actually think visually it looks worse than the GBA ones.
I agree.
So I do agree with you there. But I'm still kind of excited for it. I think
I'm
gonna
gonna get it.
I'm gonna look at it a little more. I have so many 3DS games I'm still trying to get through, so I don't know if I'm gonna pick it up day one, but it's probably will be something I pick up eventually.
Fair enough.
They also announced the Mario Party game.
That's the one I was going for. I was gonna save the last. Are you excited about it? What do you think?
No,
Really?
no. One, I don't.
All the party games of Mario Brothers, every one.
Yeah, one. Well, for one, as cool as that sounds, I don't know why it's not on the Switch.
Mm.
Because Mario Party, in my opinion, is about playing with friends.
Mm.
And while the 3DS is cool, I don't really know. One, it would be kind of hard to get so many people around for a Mario Party with 3DS.
Well, the game does support up to 4 players on one cartridge,
Yes.
which is really cool, I think.
But now you need 4 people that have a 3DS.
yes.
And I think it's a lot easier to have 4 people come over without anything, and you just have 4 controllers, which you technically have 6 in your home right now, and we could play on the Switch on the big TV.
I agree. I think in general, instead of complaining what system it's going to release on, I'm excited we're getting this game in general.
I think it's cool. I'm not going to get it.
Of course you're not. You're angry, man.
I also haven't liked the Mario Party since 9. I think the one on the Wii was the last one I liked.
Mm.
I think the one on the Wii U was horrible.
Everybody thought that.
Really took away the competitive part of it.
Yes, with everybody being on the same train, yeah. I agree. I am still excited about this. I did like a lot of the party games, Mario, and I love the party games from Mario Party 2, so I'm just excited to play some of them again, so.
Okay.
That's where it goes. Besides that, on the 3DS, there's not too much more, you know what I mean?
No, there isn't.
I'm glad they're still supporting it. I'm shocked, like you said, that they're supporting it so much. Like I said, that is their bread and butter, man.
It is. I still think, I still feel like they should be able to port these 3DS games to the Switch, because I think it would just add value to the Switch. You know what I mean? Could it hurt 3DS sales? Sure, but would it increase your Switch sales?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh.
Let's move on to the Switch, though. I think this is kind of the big stuff
That is a lot of big stuff on that. We got a huge look at Xeno Chronicles.
Xenoblade. Yes.
Xenoblade Chronicles.
Super excited for that.
Yes,
by the way.
game is gorgeous.
Yeah.
First time I would say the gameplay actually looks plausible on the Switch. Because me and you discussed before, a lot of the stuff they showed, like, I don't see that running on the Switch.
Yeah.
And the game still looks gorgeous, but it looks finally playable on the Switch. Like,
I agree.
this is what the game's actually going to run in. And I'm not actually shocked that Nintendo's done that, because I've seen that before with games where they showed originally what the game was going to look like, and then it kind of got moved down a little bit in quality when the actual game was running on a system.
Yeah.
Watch Dogs it happened with, Grand Theft Auto 4, it happens before.
I agree. I will say that I'm happy Nintendo's supporting it outside of just the game. We're getting a special edition.
Yes.
And a special edition Pro controller
Looks gorgeous.
that I actually think I'm going to pick up.
It looks really good.
I really like that controller.
I really liked it was a lot of people online were complaining. They said that it kind of dragged the direct down, but I feel like this was Nintendo's way of saying, hey, those people that haven't given this franchise a chance before
Really should pay.
should pay attention. Hey, this is how the combat works, and it did look it actually looked really fun. I love the way some characters played off each other. I love the look of the game in general. And it was so funny. My wife is me and my son are watching it together, and my wife comes through when they're playing that, and she stopped just to look at the footage of the game because how gorgeous it was. So I feel like that fact that it got her attention like that eye popping, it's something that hopefully people that got the Switch will give a chance.
It is still definitely my most anticipated thing coming out for the Switch. I'm super excited for it. Can't wait. There's another game that I'm now super excited for as well, but I'll wait until we get into that.
Do you want to talk about the 2 surprises, 2 games announced on it?
You know what? Yeah, let's get into this because I think I could talk about this for a while.
Get it out of the way.
Doom and Wolfenstein 2.
So Doom is coming out relatively soon. They promised before holiday. I looked into it because I wanted to see. Now the footage we did see, they say is the one running on the Switch. They showed for Doom.
Okay. I don't know if I really believe that.
I agree with you because it looked so staying close to the PS4 version of it.
Yeah.
So I'm curious on what they're taking out to get it running on the Switch. Because even let's say they somehow get it looking gorgeous, there's no way that
all the blood and particle effects.
Yeah, all is going to work out in the game. So I'm wondering if they're going to take where the shortcuts come. You know what I mean? And I figured some of it might be the animations on how you kill enemies. You know what I mean? I figured that you could cut a lot back that way.
Or also, whenever you killed an enemy, all the stuff would shoot out of there.
Yeah.
The ammo stuff, it might just like kind of, instead of it being like a big explosion of color, it might just drop to the ground.
Or even it'll just go into your inventory. You know what I mean? So, just to talk about it in general, how do you feel about this? We haven't had a Doom on a Nintendo system since 64.
Yeah, so here's what I'll say about the announcement. Awesome for the Nintendo. I think it's really cool. I think it better play well. Because if it doesn't, that's going to be the new conversation. Not that Nintendo isn't getting these games, but why would I want to get it on a Nintendo system when it's going to be worse?
Especially this game has been out for a year.
Yeah.
On the Play. It's had patches, it's had everything. The game runs really beautiful now. So you're right. Day one, that game better run beautiful, smooth, and don't give me the pocket version of Final Fantasy, 15 and say this is Doom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to see
they did
beautiful
say,
game.
We do know this. It's not running at 60 frames a second like it is on the PS4 and Xbox One. It's going to run at 30. We do know that. So that motion you see, like how fluid it is on the PS4 and Xbox One, is going to be different. And that's weird to me because Doom's such a fast-paced game.
It's what made... Because this one... Everybody talked about this was kind of reimagining the first one.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the big complaints people had about Doom 3 was how slow the gameplay was. It felt like just a generic first person, where Doom 3 was literally enemy to enemy to enemy to enemy, you know what I mean? You could literally chain just, constantly. So if it does take back, it feels almost Doom 3, where it's kind of slower pace.
A little sluggish.
I mean, it was. I'd rather them kind of take a lot of enemies off screen, you know what I mean, and give me a few more so we can keep that gameplay still fast, you know what I mean? That's another thing they could cut, because Doom, there was, 50 enemies on screen at one time?
A lot.
And game would never, ever feel like it stuttered at all. I remember there were so many enemies at one time. I was just, like I said, chain after chain, just destroying them, breaking skulls, and collecting orbs.
I think the game, they also said, is running at 900p docked. So it's not going to look as good as the PS4 and Xbox One, but that's still, if this is true, if it is running at 900p, I still don't think that even at 900p they're going to be able to keep everything that it had. We'll see, though.
But like I said, the good thing is about this is we've had some time since it's been out on the PS4 and Xbox One, probably to figure out where to condense, what to do, what you could lose.
I agree.
You know what I mean? I always use this for example. I'm sure people are tired of it, but Borderlands 2 ran the same on the Vita that it did the PS3. And it just eliminating shadows, some blood effect and everything was how they got it to run. So it is possible.
The second game was more shocking to me.
Yes, it is Wolfenstein 2.
Yes. So you're not getting the first one, which I find a little weird
weird.
It is a sequel.
Yes. Here's what's really shocking about it. With Doom, everybody had their chance to get the PS4, Xbox One version. This is literally for the Switch people now, or people that want to play it again. Like, I'm picking Doom up again only because I beat it, traded in. I'm going to play through it again now on the Switch. Wolfenstein 2 is coming out at the same time for PS4 and Xbox One.
Now, okay, before we get into this real quick, do you think these games are going to require a memory card? I was thinking about this.
I think Wolfenstein 2 might. I feel like Doom's too close for them to throw in SD card immediately. With that being said, though, that new baseball game or the new basketball game
requires it.
already.
That's why it wouldn't surprise me if Doom did as well. That might be how they're going to get it to run on that system. But back to Wolfenstein, though. That game, to me, looks gorgeous.
Yes. Looks better than Doom.
Yes.
Already.
I don't know how they're going to get that running on it.
No, I do. It is also...
They didn't show any footage.
No.
It was just a still.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I doubt we will get anything. And I sincerely doubt that it's coming out at the same time as the PS4 and the Xbox One.
It's not. They said it's coming 2018. No window, no month, nothing. They just said 2018. And I honestly don't think that they have a working build on the Switch yet. I think we're going to hear quite a few maybe issues of the development for this.
Like I said, it's awesome that they're like, hey, we're supporting Switch again. You know what I mean? You can see that with the 2K already supported it and the WWE game. Games that left the Wii U that are coming back to the Switch. It's awesome. Like you said, same thing with the wrestling. That wrestling game is coming out next month for everything else. We still have no gameplay footage for the Switch version yet.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it kind of makes you a little nervous. Not to say that, the Switch version is going to be crap. It could obviously still be really good. But, it's kind of hard. And it's also harder when you have to wait. You know what I mean? If you're getting Wolfenstein 2 on the Switch, but I get it on the PS4, first off, I'm going to make one of our videos of that. And you're going to see it.
Number 2, but, just picture if it's a big enough jump from, Final Fantasy 15 to Pocket version. If it's, a big enough jump like that, who would want to play it on the Switch?
Yeah.
It's, embarrassing,
I think I would have much rather hear Bethesda making exclusive Switch games in the same universe rather than being like, oh, here are these games.
I feel like that's an issue, and the same thing that happened to the Wii. Because they were releasing the same games, just butchered down versions of it.
Yeah.
It was like, what's the point of getting it on the Wii?
Even Madden. The NFL game, which I don't ever consider Madden to be very graphically intensive. But even that, they lowered the graphics on the Wii for that, and it's just like, Jesus. But we'll see. I hope Nintendo can do well with this for the Nintendo fans. I'm not getting it on the Switch.
Like I said, I'll get Doom because it's a
try it out
release.
with Doom
Just
first.
try it out and see what it's like. But we got to see. I mean, obviously, they think it's possible to announce it. You know what I mean? It's not like they don't think they can't do it. And when I seen Doom is coming out before the holidays, I couldn't believe it. I said, but. You know what I mean? Granted, that could be December 24th. You know what I mean? We don't know, but that to me, that's November. Or,
I think it's going to... I honestly think they might push for October. Only because if you think about it, in October they have Wolfenstein and Evil Within 2. No, Evil Within 2, I'm sorry, is October. Wolfenstein's November. So you have Evil Within 2 in October. That's only going to be on PS4 and Xbox One and PC. You don't really have anything for Switch users. Put Doom out in October. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then you're not stepping on Mario's toes in November. Because Mario Odyssey is going to be a big one.
It does look good. Before we get to Mario Odyssey, I did want to mention one more game that's coming out. Square Enix game coming out for the Switch. So, not excited about it at all? Or
I don't know. I'm making sure it's the same game. Octopath Traveler?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Did you play the demo?
No, I did not get to play the demo yet.
They put the demo up.
I was just blown away with the way the game looked. Because I watched the gameplay 4 times before I realized it is exactly the way they described it, 2D, 3D.
Yes.
And the environments are gorgeous looking with this amazing 2-pixel looking characters. So, you play the demo, what do you think?
That was actually what I was going to say. Remember how I said there's a second game now that I'm really excited for the Switch? That's it. Now, my problem with this, though, is
the name?
It's going to depend on the price. Because while I really like the game, I can't see myself spending $60 on this game.
It would be a weird choice if they went 60 with it. Especially, as much as I've been craving an old school RPG feel like this, it's still...
I don't mean to bring it back real quick, but are you willing to pay $60 for Doom again? You can get it for $20 now on the PS4 and Xbox One. Because it's going to be $60.
Yeah.
And that's what kind of sucks. And I was listening to a thing. I don't know if you noticed. There's a game coming out. What game is it? I think it's Okami HD. It's cheaper. Oh no, it's not. That's not going to the Switch. Oh, L.A. Noire. L.A. Noire on everything else is $40. On the Switch, it's $50. And Rockstar came out and said that there is technically a Switch tax when you bring a game to the Switch. That's because you have to pay more money to put a game on a cartridge than you do to put it on a disc. So no matter what game, any game that they release will always be more money on the Switch than it is on those consoles. That kind of sucks.
It does. But, you can always do the mentality of that sucks for Switch owners that only own a Switch. Because someone like me and you very well could be like, $10 more, I'm going to get it on the PS4.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or let me play it in 4K. With that being said, I feel like LA Noire is tough because you are getting exclusive things with the Switch version.
But
not enough for $50 though.
I was gonna say, first off, I don't even think it should be $40 personally. I'm willing to pay $40, but I think $30 would have been the sweet spot.
Your sweet spot.
Because that's such an old game.
It is.
They're bringing 4K and all to it, but $40 to $50 for that's a lot. And that's what I'm worried about with Octopath Traveler is it's a great game. I really love it as an RPG. Like it's really charming. I love the graphics. The combat system's really good. I just don't know what I'm willing to pay. I think 30 once again is that sweet spot for me.
I think 25 to 30 would be the appropriate price for it. It seems like it's gonna be a long game. Seems like it's gonna be a well fleshed out game. But this day and age, with no voice acting, no amazing graphics, no.
Probably won't really have cutscenes.
Yeah,
I'm assuming it'll be more like the Super NES type cutscene things.
I'm gonna be a bad guy.
Floating up and down.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I'm the henchman. I will obviously be the final boss.
I would definitely say to try the demo out.
I'm surprised I didn't. It's just Metroid took over Borderlands.
Yeah, I can understand that.
Especially Metroid. Gotta love you, Metroid. Then we get a little more information about Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
What do you think of what they showed? I did like the fact that they said there's a lot more in the game that we haven't. Oh, jeez, you were mad at this game.
I will say this: I am super excited that nipples have been confirmed for Mario.
Nipples. Because he took his shirt off finally.
Yes. I do think that Nintendo is getting into this weird shirtless fetish, though.
Yeah, Link and Mario.
First Link, Mario.
I want to say I feel like there's. I know I'm probably thinking too crazy in this because I've always wanted more substance to a Mario game, but I really feel like this might be the Mario game that they take a little more serious. You know what I mean? Because it's obvious to me that New Donk City is where Mario or Donkey Kong took place. You know what I mean? So I feel like hopefully the reason they haven't given out every level or everything like that is there's going to be some twist in it, you know what I mean? And that the Odyssey stands for, like, this is a combination of every adventure Mario's kind of been on kind of thing. So I'm excited for the game. I think it looks gorgeous, but, it's Mario, so.
Yeah. And, I mean, most first-party Nintendo stuff looks really good, so it doesn't surprise me that it looks gorgeous. I'm still not excited for it, still not sold on it.
Not going to run around with shirtless Mario?
No.
Can I have shirtless Link, shirtless Shulk, and shirtless Mario?
Shirtless Shulk is where it stops for me. I will always, forever be shirtless Shulk. But, yeah, the Mario Odyssey hasn't really still done anything for me. They did also announce, though, a bundle, which I think is super smart on their end. Did they say a price for it? Is it the normal price?
I think it's normal price, I want to say.
Okay.
It looked like normal price.
Because I didn't remember seeing them say a price for it. I'm not sure if it's $300 or if it's a little more since it comes to Mario Odyssey.
Yeah. I think the sweet thing, if you do raise the prices, you don't raise it the full price of the game. You know what I mean? Or close to it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
If you're going to do it, $360 would be ridiculous. I think $340 is the smart price. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's $40 for a $60 game you're getting with it. But usually they should come with something. You get a sweet carrying case with it.
Oh, yeah,
It's really awesome.
I did see that, and it looks cool. And I think, I could be wrong, did they show red Joy-Cons with it?
Yes.
Yeah, for the Mario hat?
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool.
I think that's really cool. I think it's smart that they're releasing the system with it. We'll see,
Yeah. It's, so, good Direct, you think?
Overall, I did enjoy the Direct. Like I said, one thing I appreciated about it so much was DS in the beginning, Switch news at the end. I really did appreciate that.
Okay.
I did like the fact that they explained everything in it. Like, hey, we're going to go in great detail about some stuff. Other things, we're just going to announce and tell you that they're here. You know what I mean? That way you didn't have the disappointment like E3, where, you know, hey, Metroid Prime 4, that's all we're going to tell you. That's it. Bam. No trailer, nothing. You know?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They said, hey, there's going to be a few games. All we're literally going to give you is the title. You know what I mean? That way, when Wolfenstein 2 got announced, I wasn't shocked that they didn't show any gameplay for it, you know?
Yeah.
So, only thing that surprised me about Direct is the fact that it was in the middle of the week and just caught me off guard, you know?
The two surprises for me, one was that they supported Xenoblade.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of thought they weren't really going to talk about it anymore until it was out. Just kind of let it go. I'm happy that they're going to keep focusing on it and try to push people to buy it, because it is a really good series, and I hope, you know, people really give it a chance. And the Bethesda announcements.
Yeah.
I just hope that those announcements don't end up hurting the Switch and turn the conversation to, not that they don't have third-party support, but now that, third-party support isn't even worth getting
Right.
on the Switch. But
well, we can only...
unfortunately, this Direct, it's so weird because, like, you know, I was always like, Nintendo needs third-party support. It does still need it, don't get me wrong. But I kind of realized that no matter what Nintendo does, it's still always going to be my second console. My PS4 is
I agree with you. Yeah, I think that's just... I think Nintendo's okay with that, to be honest.
No, I know that they are. But, you know, there are people out there that are like, why wouldn't you just play your Switch? And
Well, I understand. Like I said, I tried to make my Wii U my main console. That lasted for a couple months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I'm just so invested in the PlayStation ecosystem with, like, trophies and stuff like that. It'd be really hard to, like, start all over.
There's just certain games I would need to play, and I need to play on the PS4, you know?
Yeah.
So, but overall, the Direct I thought was really neat, really fun. You know what I mean? Felt a little more adult-oriented. I really want them to get rid of this. Stop it.
Oh, the snapping.
Stop the snaps, man.
It was cool the first, like, week of the Switch
Yeah.
announcements. Now it's...
Just stop snapping. Just stop. Let it go. Okay?
They need to watch Frozen.
No, they don't.
Anyway, let's get on to your enthusiast pick.
Which is actually funny. I'm going to give it to It movie.
The new one?
Yes, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
I really enjoyed this film. And like you said, it's rare for me to recommend a horror movie to people because they're so... What scares me doesn't scare you.
Yeah.
But I feel like even if you are the toughest person in the world and you don't get scared or creeped out at all by this, you'll appreciate this as a film.
Yeah.
It was well shot, well directed, well acted. The effects were great. There was a couple effects that I was like, yeah. But most of all, I was really shocked by it. So, yeah, if you haven't seen it, something's wrong with you. Go see it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Definitely a good pick. I like that.
We both got babysitters, you know what I mean? And we did what we had to see this film. So that is definitely my my pick. I was surprisingly shocked about how great that movie was.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's. I think that has been episode 41 of The Enthusiast.
And we?
Oh no, we have to plug the stuff in, man. We can't end it here.
Well, we can't?
No.
We're out? No? Okay.
Make sure to hit that like button if you like what you heard.
Not even if you didn't like it, hit that like button. What's wrong with you? You don't like helping people?
I'm sorry. You're
What
right.
are you, a savage?
Yes, I'm
Okay, huh?
sorry.
You see somebody hurt on the side of the road, you just walk past them?
I
Hit the
guess-
like button. Ridiculous.
Or you'll get an angry text from me like I gave it Jesse earlier.
Yeah, okay?
Or else.
Hit the like button.
You can check us out on SoundCloud, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, and now
Ooh.
our own website.
It is up and running officially. Really excited.
Yes.
I know I had to pay for it.
theenthusiast.net. I will have a link in the description below, as well as a link on our Facebook, Twitter, and probably not on SoundCloud, but
Hey,
you know.
I'll just tell you on SoundCloud.
Check it
Go to
out.
the website.
We have news on there. All of our episodes are on there, as well as all of our audio. We are opening a shop.
pictures. We get some shops going on. It's exciting. We can do updates all the time on it. We'll always be
Yes.
commenting on it. What's the website? Give me the tagline, man.
I already did. Theenthusiast.net.
Enthusiast.net. That's so simple to get to.
Indeed. But yeah, this has been episode 41 of The Enthusiast. Please also look forward to our It spoiler cast. And we are gone.
Peace.
Cool. Now you're kidding.